Hey guys, ShartimusPrime here, doing another Medicom toy MAFEX action figure review on Daredevil! Yeah! We finally have a MAFEX Daredevil, which I have wanted to see from the MAFEX line probably since all the way back in the beginning when I first got my first MAFEX figure from Devil's Due. Thank you, Devil's Due. But man, I'm so happy this is here. Anyway, packaging looks great. Loving the artwork right over there. On the sides, you can see product shots of Daredevil. And then there's Daredevil again over here. And then a whole ton more product shots on the back. And then on the top, you can see Daredevil and the text right there. It says Daredevil. And then not much more at the bottom. A little official hologram sticker right over there. All right, man. I'm stoked for this figure. Cannot wait. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And if you're trying to get your MAFEX figures, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's the MAFEX Daredevil out of the packaging. And I gotta say it just right at the beginning of this review. Most people are already thinking it, but oh man, this is the best Daredevil figure of all time. I love this thing. This is such a good figure, man. Oh, I'm so happy with it. So fun to pose around. I really do love the accessories. However, I do have my gripes. I do have complaints I'm going to bring up, mostly with the accessories, not so much with the Daredevil figure itself. This is really what I've wanted for a long time, and man, MAFEX has delivered so hard. But anyway, let's cut over to complaining about the accessories. Not to mislead you guys into thinking that I think these accessories suck overall, which I really don't think they do. I'm just bummed out we didn't get a radar accessory to put onto the back of Daredevil somehow. That would have been really cool to have. And also I had a little bit of a breakage thing going on. And also we do get your standard issue stand that we normally get with MAFEX. And you can see it in there, but we have the wider clamps. I'm used to this clamp right here just working a lot better than this big old clamp right over there. So that's a little gripe. I'm just going to put that over there. But I'm really liking the baton accessories that we have. This is actually quite impressive. I mean, we have 3 different holster accessory options, which I just think is freaking awesome. But what's not awesome is that the batons themselves suffer from red stainage from him gripping these, so that is a bit of a bummer. And you get 2 different batons that have bendy wire, which I absolutely love. This one goes to about 18 inches across, and you can see that's where this one came apart for me. Luckily, I could still plug it in there. I just wish it ran all the way through the baton. It just doesn't really go that far. Maybe it snapped in there somewhere if it went further in, but damn it, I have to glue that in somehow, so that's a bummer. This side's okay, and it is fun to work with. Like, I took a lot of pictures, and it still feels like I didn't take enough. So this is like the 18-inch one, and then this one's about 10 inches long, and you get the little hook right here at the end instead. Again, a little bit of stainage from the hands going in there, and sometimes he's drawn with red batons, but I like the John Romita Jr. version enough to where I don't mind him having the white batons. You can see the holster right over here. You get only 1 baton in this holster, and this has no holsters. And then you get the flat hands, which is great to have for Daredevil. I love these wide open hands. You get these gripping hands, which I actually also used for him holding the batons. So if you're able to sneak these through the fingers, you could do some posing like that. If you want to get clever with it, you know, spend a little time messing with it. It doesn't seem like they're meant to hold the batons, and I really like that they have black paint fading in and out throughout on all of the hands. Of course, you get a set of fisted hands, you have relaxed hands right here, and you, of course, need the baton holding hands. And then we also get 3 head sculpts, and I gotta say, I really do like all 3. One point, though, is that the flesh tone does look very pale to me. I don't know, it looks like a little too light. Yeah, there's no paint detail for the mouth or anything, and yeah, it is a very light color flesh tone, very pale. I really like how the eyes came out over here too. And there's subtle black paint throughout on the heads. You can see we get a gritted teeth version right here, which looks really good. This is probably my favorite one, to be honest with you. I really like this a lot. You can see the ears right there. And then he also has this screaming head, which looks really nice as well. I really like this, and you can see the ears, black paint on the back of it. man, it looks really good. I did have a little bit of some dust underneath right here on the neck, and I gotta be honest, there are times where I pose him and I could see more gappage than I'd like to. It bothers me a little bit, but I'm so stoked to pose the figure around that I'm having so much fun. It doesn't really irk me that much. We'll get into articulation more in a little bit, but I love that we have some nicely sculpted DDs right over here on the chest. And the butterfly section right there looks pretty good. I do think the arms are lacking a little bit of muscle. I think like his biceps could be a little bit bigger. The forearms for sure I feel like could be a little bit bigger. But they don't look bad. Still muscular, but I don't know. I think there could be a little bit more in the arms. I like how the red changes right here for the gloves. And then I think the musculature for the torso looks really good. Looks all hella buffed and everything. And nice black paint throughout. Here's looking at the back. Again, the black paint mixed in with the red just looks really, really good, man. And I didn't show how these swap out. All you got to do is, I like to rotate the bottom side towards me and then pop it off like that. And these interchange very, very easily. So I love having that right there. Then you can see some more straps with the different color red. I think that looks good. And yeah, man, I'm happy with how the belt looks right there. There's your Daredevil butt, your Daredevil legs. And then again, we get to the boots right over here. Looking really nice. Black fading throughout on the whole figure. I feel like sometimes the legs don't straighten out all the way. I don't know. It looks fine. But, you know, sometimes I wish it could straighten out a little bit more, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I like how you can bend them in really far, so that's why it's contoured that way right there on the back of the knee. And then you can see we got the boots right there and no peg holes, which is actually kind of nice to not have peg holes or anything at the bottom of the feet. So I'm very happy with our articulation. There is this lip on the back of the head, though, that makes me feel like if it didn't run in to his back over here, it could look up even more than that, but this is still not bad at all. That's still very far, but part of me wishes he could look up, or feels like he could look up even more than that, but damn, that's still very, very far up. You could look down and it just works out very smoothly. No gappage right over there. I do like that. And then you could turn the head side to side, of course, where you can see a little bit of gappage sometimes. And then we have some great pivoting. Really good looking butterfly joints. I do like the butterfly joints. They move all the way in each direction. So that is very cool. There's nothing stopping them, even when you shift them up and down at the butterfly joint. Shoulder joint moves way and up. Well, I'm kind of using the butterfly joint. So without it, it still goes above the 90-degree mark. You can move the shoulders all the way in. Of course, the butterfly joint's being utilized a little bit right here. You can rotate a full 360. You get a bicep swivel. You do get great double jointed elbows that collapse. And then you have the wrist ball system, or the peg ball joint system, where you could rotate any direction you'd like with these. And then you have the diaphragm cut right here, which I feel like does cause some scuffage. So you turn it side to side, it will pivot very far, crunches forward very far, crunches back hella far up until you can see the peg in there. And then you have similar waist articulation, pivots and crunches forward at the waist a little bit and back some. So with both of those joints, he could bend all the way back. And then with both of those joints, he bends all the way that far forward. With both joints, let's see how far he could pivot to the side. He's running in, his rib cage is running into his belt. That's pretty damn far, man. You do get the drop down hips. We get the rotating batons right there, so you can kick all the way up, you can kick back, upper thigh cut, great double jointed knees, and then the ankles can turn side to side. They move down, they move up. He has beautiful ankle pivot, and we get toe articulation. Now to measure out this MAFEX Daredevil figure, you can see that it is standing just a tiny bit over 6.5 inches tall, or maybe right at 6.5 inches. And then for a MAFEX size comparison, you can see our Daredevil MAFEX figure next to Cyclops, and we have the classic comic Spider-Man figure. And I'm used to most of my MAFEX figures being this size right over here, so I thought that was a little bit weird at first. But yeah, he's about the same height as Cyclops, and Daredevil and Cyclops being a little bit taller than Spider-Man, that's okay with me. I think that fits. Then for a Daredevil comparison with this John Romita Jr. kind of style, you can see that we have the Toy Biz, not Marvel Legends Spider-Man series Daredevil, which actually really got me into collecting way back in the day. I think I got this in 2003, 2004, something like that. Then we have the 3-pack Daredevil from Hasbro Marvel Legends, and this is the best one. And I've wanted Bendy Wire, batons for so long. I made this myself over here. This figure is so satisfying. Then for another Daredevil comparison, I had to bust out my Mezco Daredevil, which I am surprised with all these soft goods and this vinyl material and stuff, this figure has held up. There are some wrinkles there, but I haven't had any rips yet. Hopefully, oh my god, hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. But anyway, he has a bendy wire baton also, which works out really well. But having the white with these ones, I don't know, it's just a little extra comic accurate. They're not trying to be comic accurate over here. They have their own style. We know how Mezco works. Then here's Daredevil next to the Marvel Legends Bullseye, which to my surprise is standing shorter than Daredevil over here. Maybe it's because the drop-down hips or something. Maybe if I put the legs a little farther apart. Still a little bit taller than Bullseye, but they still fit into scale together. I didn't have time to take pictures of Daredevil with anybody else except for one shot with Spider-Man. I had so much fun posing him around by himself. Then shout out to Colt Kid for this comparison. He wanted to see Daredevil next to Pyro and the Blob as he fights both of these characters in, was it Daredevil 269? And yeah, I gotta give that a read. It looks pretty cool. And here's Daredevil next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey, Daredevil, sorry, buddy, but, yeah, gotta turn around. Camera's this way, huh? So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hey, I gotta ask you to pay it forward by simply hitting that like button if you don't mind. And if you're new here, you want to see more of my content, I have a cool Marvel Legends Wolverine to look at. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And thanks so much for watching. And share this video if you enjoyed it. This figure I certainly enjoyed. I really like this figure a lot. I even had a break happen on me, and I still love this figure. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to see if I can get maybe a replacement. I don't know. But yeah, that is a bummer. And it's an expensive figure too. You're looking at around $100. So that really does bum me out. I still love the figure though. Does that make me a MAFEX shill? I don't know. I maybe just like playing with action figures, and the fact that I'm still able to use it, it doesn't make me that upset. But yeah, I think I could fix it with some super glue. It shouldn't be a big deal. Anyway, the figure itself, it has its flaws, you know, the staining on the batons. Sure, I wish it did have a radar accessory. That would have been cool. I'm happy that they didn't give us a repeat accessory of the twirling batons from Nightwing. As much as I love that accessory, it's cool that that accessory is exclusive for that figure. So, it would have been nice, but at the same time, I'm okay not having that. I'd really like the bendy wire batons more than anything else. That's how I want to play with my Daredevil figure. And I like the head sculpts. Again, I think the flesh tone's a little bit too bright, but still, man, I love this figure at the price point around $100. I'm gonna give this MAFEX Daredevil a sud rating of... And I'd like to know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. We got a show this coming Thursday, and I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.